Hello everyone, how you guys doing? Hopefully you guys are having a wonderful day. And today we are here with a Sulliuscep's guide for old school RuneScape in my endless adventure to make as many guides as possible. Hopefully you guys enjoy. If you do, make sure to leave a like, would appreciate it greatly. Helps the channel out and helps this video find other people as well. With that said, let's go ahead and get on into it. So to start, the requirements for Sulliusceps are as follows. So you'll need at least 65 woodcutting or higher to be able to do this in the first place. The higher the level, the more XP per hour you'll be getting, like most things in the game. Beyond that, you do need the Bon Voyage quest to be completed to access the fossil island where these trees are located. In addition to that, 11 HP is necessary and higher HP is more than recommended. You'll be taking some damage while you're doing this woodcutting, so you'll need to be on the lookout for that. For the hourly rates, you can get anywhere from 60 to 100k woodcutting XP per hour, and for GP you can get 100 to 150k. I would describe this method as woodcutting with a little bit of agility mixed into it. So for the most part it's AFK, however there are times where you have to move around between trees. As far as if it's worth it, I would say so. It has great XP that you can get here, like we talked about, 60 to 100k. That's some of the best XP for woodcutting you'll be getting, unless you want to go do tick manipulation and be crazy like that. But for someone that's trying to be a little bit more casual, this is a brilliant method. And it's also amazing for fossils, so if you're trying to knock out your museum kudos, this is a great way to go about that. You can also get XP rewards whenever you build the fossils up in the museum. So personally, I think it is really worthwhile. So for the gear options here, the first setup is a low level setup. Here, basically just looking at graceful and some other things that are able to keep your defense a little bit higher. As I mentioned before, we'll be taking damage, so that is important. You're going to want decent range defensive bonuses because the monsters that will attack you will use range and you cannot pray against it, so you'll just have to take that. Then we have a more tanky setup. This one not using graceful, however going with the lumberjack outfit and many more defensive based add-ons there. A good bit more expensive, and on top of that it does have a hit points cape. You don't need it. The hit points cape and the regen bracelet are two pieces of this gear setup that are used for regeneration of health, so that's why those are very helpful. And then for the inventory here, there are 5 different items. As you can see, a dueling ring to teleport away from the Sulliusceps, a dig site pendant to get there in the first place, and anti-poison to go ahead and cure yourself of whatever poison you may get here, a rake, and then you have Ceridome brews, which is just a food source that we'll be using. You can use whatever you'd like. These are just nice because you got 4 doses per one. And then some extras that you could throw on in there. So there is the Ceridome and Gonsword special attack if you want to bring one of those. That's like 30 mil or so not necessarily something easy to attain, but if you have it, feel free. Prayer gear is also an option if you want to go that route. You can use the rapid heal prayer and heal yourself a little bit quicker that way. And there's also a prayer book plus holy symbol combination that if you have both of those items, you can cure your poison via the book. So that's what you need to know. I'm gonna go ahead and drink a stamina dose while we head on over there. So to get there, there is 2 different methods. I'm gonna go the longer route, assuming that most people don't have the shorter route available. So we're gonna go with the dig site teleport, and then from there we are going to quick travel via the barge guard over here. Now that we're on Fossil Islet, we're going to want to make our way down to this southwestern mush tree. If you already have that unlocked, go ahead and just teleport down to the tar swamp. If you don't have that unlocked, then go ahead and follow me. So I'm gonna run to the west over here. I'm gonna take this little southwestern entryway, and then I'm going to keep on heading towards the northwest over here. Then from there you have 2 options. If you have higher than 50 HP and you don't mind wasting a little bit of food, you can just go ahead and jump on this rubber cap and it will send you there. If you don't have higher than 50 HP and are willing to do that, then you're going to have to run the long way back on through, and I'm going to take the shortcut, and then we can talk about the path here in a moment. So being sent on over this mushroom right now, I will fall into what for me is a nice little spot with tons of mushrooms that I was able to step on. If this pit was not filled with mushrooms, then you would have taken significant damage. Luckily, you get mushrooms from doing this method, so you can sustain not taking damage as long as you're doing this method. If it's your first time here, you will take a nice hefty hit of 40 to 50 right there. But now that we're down here, make sure to touch this magic mush tree, and that will activate it so you can teleport here in the future. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the mini-map. So the first tree that we'll be starting at is towards the southeast of this map. Once you're done cutting that tree, then we'll want to head to the southwest over a little obstacle there, and then we'll take a southern path to the second woodcutting spot. Once you're done with the second woodcutting spot, then we'll just make our way to the north. Once you head north, there's tree number 3 on your right, then you'll have tree number 4 on the left, and once you reach the northern end, there is tree number 5 and 6 back near where we started. So it's a pretty simple layout. Let's go ahead and do an example run. So to start, since we are already here, let's go ahead and just cut this Sulliuscep right here. All right, first one down, I have enough mushrooms to just go ahead and throw that on in the bed right there and make it nice and soft for my next landing. Then we'll head to the southwest. There's a tar monster down here that is doing me in. Ideally, you want to go to a world without many people in here because it's going to mess you up if there are people. Head to the south and we will find the second Sulliuscep right down here in this nice little opening. Then from there, go ahead and cut that until that is over. Second one down, now we will head to the north and start going on our northern route. So up here, there is a thick vine that you're going to want to go ahead and chop through while some more tar monsters will appear. Just continue to run on by those, and then there will be another set of thick vines up here. Chop the thick boys and keep removing. Got another vine we got to get rid of up here. And then we will run out to the east right here, cutting some Sulliusceps up here to the northeast. Chomp on whatever food you may need along the way. Also, you will be getting Numulite throughout all of this. I'd recommend just keeping that since it actually does add up. That's where a lot of the GP you can make here comes from. And also, if you're an Iron Man, it may be useful to keep the Mortmire fungus in your inventory and kind of stack it up over time and bank it every now and then. It should be pretty easy to get back here, so I feel like that would be worthwhile. Make sure to drop your mushrooms whenever you get a full inventory, or else you will stop cutting these Sulliusceps. And just like that, I got a medium fossil already. To dig a little deeper into the fossils, smalls are 1 in 70, mediums are 1 in 140, larges are 1 in 175, and the rares are 1 in 700. You actually don't need rare fossils at the moment to do anything in the museum, so I wouldn't worry about those, but if you get them, I would definitely keep them. Once we're done up there, let's go ahead and head up to this vine that we're going to go ahead and clear. Then after that, there is a nice opening here to the west that we can head on in and cut our fourth Sulliuscep of the trip. Once the fourth Sulliuscep is done, then go ahead and chop through the thick vines to the north over here. Head on up and you'll want to make your way on over to the northeast. There's also a thick vine here that I did not have marked, but you'll have to get that first. And then there is another thick vine up here. At this point, you'll then have 2 trees up here, one of them of which is already cut in my world, which is very sad, but this one is looking a-okay, so I'll cut this. The running around can be a bit annoying, but there are times where you'll get a tree that just stands there endlessly and you chop it for maybe 25, 50 times, just absolutely raking in the XP. And as you can tell, once you're at the trees, you actually do get the XP drops fairly quickly. So personally, I enjoy it a lot. I think it's great for woodcutting XP. And in addition to that, if you're looking for fossils or you're looking for the combination of both, you can't beat it by any means. And definitely a bit more of an active woodcutting method. If you're someone that just doesn't like the AFK life and you need something a little bit more spicy, I definitely think that this is worthwhile for you. But once your trip is done and you've cut all the trees that I have shown you, then go ahead and jump back on the rubber cat mushroom and you'll be sent back to the beginning, at which then you can start another lap of Sulliusceps. So that's going to do it for this guide. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like. In addition to that, if you want to see more videos like this as soon as they go live, make sure to subscribe. And I also have a clan chat, a Discord, and many other places that you can check myself and the community at down below in the description. But with that said, hopefully you have a wonderful day and peace.